The violence around the world is getting worse. There's 200 mass shootings alone this year in the United States. India, acid attacks, trafficking. Cambodia, children being sold by their mothers. Domestic violence. Africa, dealing with corrupt governments.
72% of sex trafficking victims are American.
Within 2 miles of us, there's dozens of women who are chained in a basement right now, slaves.
This could happen to anyone.
It's all over the world. This year, Face Forward is rebranding as an international non-profit.
Charities throughout the world are asking now for Face Forward's help.
Resurgence Global. We are collaborating with Face Forward. We can bring patients from Jordan, Syria. We're looking in Kurdistan now. Syria right now is probably one of the most dangerous places on earth. In Syria, this child would go up to sit in a window while his parents would go to a market, and then they could see him up in the window. While his parents were across the street, a barrel bomb hit. And that child watched his parents essentially get blown to pieces. No child should have to endure that type of trauma.
You're really there and you feel the emotions of these children, or you feel the pain that they have gone through, or the sadness. All they want is to be loved.
There are specific cases that exist there, and we are going to bring them here.
I don't think in the States we realize how lucky we are. And when I left there, I knew in my heart that we had to help more children from this community. Recently, I was just in Cambodia. My heart was broken when I saw how many young children are sold to trafficking. There was measles, chickenpox, dead bodies of drug addicts. It was overwhelming, it was scary, but I can't wait to go back.
Cambodia is in Indochina. It was the subject of terrible bombing, genocide. It's the most impoverished, dysfunctional community, Cambodian Children's Fund. We partnered with Face Forward to start with Melita. Melita's mother, she was really beautiful. I saw the photograph. She's still got the picture in her house. They were actually quite well off. She and her mother were both victims of an acid attack. The father had a possessive girlfriend. She had both mother and daughter disfigured. Her mother, her face essentially melted. Melita was 3 years old at the time. It's very painful growing up when you've had burns. As you grow, your skin obviously grows. Scar tissue does not. So you end up with very painful areas where you can't extend your arm, for example. I feel like I have a father-daughter relationship with Melita. Melita is now 13. I do see her watching the kids play basketball, to play with other kids and participate. It's what we may take for granted, but for her, it's a huge step forward.
We have a survivor by the name of Dan coming from Africa. His wife, she electrocuted him and then poured acid on him.
I never thought that my wife can do something to harm my life. She was so caring. We were blessed with a baby boy. My son passed away at the age of 9 months. After we lost the child, it was found out that my wife was having an affair with my boss. They wanted to kill me as I was sleeping. She poured a solution on my face. I jumped out of the bed. I felt a shock. She had also connected the electricity and poured water on the floor. I just screamed for help. I was in hospital for so long, and when I was discharged, my life had changed. I'm not the Dan I used to be. I'm now blind. I wish I could have my eyes restored so that I can see my family again, eye to eye, seeing their facial expressions. I miss it a lot.
Diane is a mother and a grandmother. She was dating someone. He had kidnapped her and then abused her.
I was a happy kid, going places with my friends and going to movies. And I was 16 and I got in the car with this guy and he took me out in some woods and knocked me unconscious. I woke up, I remember I was in the hospital. First time I looked in the mirror, my flesh and stuff was raw on my skin. I had been burned with some type of chemical. It was hard for me to go out shopping for my son, shopping to the grocery store. I've had 2 or 3 procedures done and I see my old self coming back. I see it, other people see it.
Currently we're helping 2 patients that are from the LGBT community. Robbie was coming home one night from a bar and was attacked by several men.
I lived in LA, West Hollywood, for about 10 years. I felt safe. That's why I lived there. All of a sudden, I didn't have that safety and security anymore. I was targeted at the bar. Just a regular Friday night, out with friends. I actually went home early that night. I was attacked walking home. The last thing I heard was, "It's what you deserve, faggot." That word just carries so much violence. I came to and I was just really out of it and went to the ER in my nose. They said it was fractured in 3 spots. My lip was like double the size. They actually loosened like some of my bottom teeth. I'm still dealing with it and I'll probably always be. I'm just honestly grateful to be here. It could have been a lot worse. And it has been a lot worse. The trans community is like heavy on my heart. What I went through in my attack is hard, but like what I have seen friends go through is like heartbreaking.
In Honduras, if you're gay, you're actually killed. Addison escaped and she went to Miami. And in Miami, she was trafficked by traffickers.
They forced her to get buttocks injections. They thought that by making her more feminine, she would make more money.
Addison had painful reactions. The stakes are very high for Addison. She can't speak English, which makes it very difficult for her to find a job. So she's trying everything she can to learn English.
Addison has no money. She has no way to pay for rent, for food. She's essentially alone, and Face Forward has taken her under their wing.
We want to make her go to college, help her get an education. She wants to be possibly a nurse. We want her to be safe again.
Every individual who comes through Face Forward has to make an agreement to do something great with their life.
They've gone back to school, college, they are helping others, and we want them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. Nicodemus is a beautiful soul who came to us from Africa. He was actually an orphan and he was abused and beaten by the school teachers.
If I didn't have Face Forward, I wouldn't have met my wife.
He was able to go to an internship in Waco. That's how we met. I'm grateful for Face Forward for returning his smile. We got married on March 30th. I just moved here to Kenya and eventually we will start our own family here.
Reshma from India has written a book and is on Amazon. She's a young girl. She's in her very early 20s, and for someone to do something so incredible, that's the perfect patient for Face Forward. Reshma has walked New York Fashion Week, scars and all. Andreas is still a patient of Face Forward. He's now our UK ambassador. He just ran a marathon in April and raised Face Forward over $10,000.
I support Face Forward because they are about to change a life of a girl that I love dearly. There's such a glow about her now. For the first time ever in her life, she's the subject of envy. Girl with terrible background, goes to Beverly Hills, goes to Disneyland, and from a father's perspective, I mean, you couldn't wish for anything more. Face Forward will turn a disfigured little girl into an advocate for social change.
Face Forward is changing and transforming people's lives.
Face Forward is providing mental health resources, physical resources,
expertise and specialists you just wouldn't find in any developing country.
Face Forward is very life-changing for people like us, my mother and my family. It changed lives, it uplifts spirits.
They're just guardian angels. It's a donation worth giving and donating to.
If you donate to Face Forward, you're helping sustain the organization that provides surgery, flights to surgeries,
accommodation, anesthesiologist, operating room, surgery materials. One case can cost Face Forward $30,000, $40,000. We're helping thousands and thousands of people.
Deborah, as a CEO, could be getting paid a significant amount of money. It doesn't take a penny. Every penny that you give is going to help these survivors.
I do it because I was a survivor. For me, it's important to give back. I think each and every one of us should do something.